to prove that others' abilities are the best. I ignored my SS level talent and deliberately chose the ability to copy. My classmates laughed and called me a total fool. I just gave a slight chuckle in response. When I become powerful, I'll make your titanium alloy eyes pop out, because my copying ability isn't ordinary. It is a system that can directly replicate others' talents within a 3-meter range. Ding, a notification detected a C-level talent 2 meters ahead. Should it be copied? A cold mechanical voice responded in my mind. No, I muttered while curling my lips. C-level talent. That is way too weak. It has to be at least S-level. Otherwise, how could it match such an extraordinary ability? Just now Su Qingyan awakened an S-level talent. I forced myself to suppress the overwhelming joy in my heart. Started looking for her figure. At this moment, Su Qingyan was standing alone at the edge of the square. She had the look of an ice-cold beauty. Her aura completely gave off a vibe of keep your distance. What should I do to get close to Su Qingyan? I was secretly coming up with a plan in my mind. The talent test in the square was still ongoing. Suddenly, a voice that shocked everyone echoed. An SSS-level talent! The entire square fell silent in an instant. Everyone was completely stunned. An awakening with SSS-level talent had actually appeared right in the center of the square. A boy dressed in an ordinary school uniform stood frozen in place. Then, a wave of overwhelming joy surged through him. I actually awakened an SSS-level talent. The peak of martial arts is definitely within my grasp. The boy shouted proudly. His tone was filled with arrogance. For nearly 1,000 years, any genius who awakens an SSS-level talent, as long as they don't fall along the way, has always become an unparalleled powerhouse at the peak of Blue Star. Wait, isn't that Li Chang from the underachiever class? This failure actually awakened an SSS-level talent. Unbelievable. Now he is really going to soar to the top. With an SSS-level talent, even a dog could become a martial god. Who knew this kid could look like this? An ordinary appearance hides an extraordinary genius. This truly proves you can't judge a book by its cover. Hearing the rising and falling discussions around me, my heart was racing uncontrollably. If I don't seize this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, it would be absolutely unforgivable. As for Su Qingyan's S-level talent, it can only be copied next month. After all, the copying ability requires a 1-month cooldown. Our jangling number 1 high school is about to rise to prominence. An SSS-level genius has unexpectedly appeared. The principal was so excited that he was trembling all over. His fiery gaze was fixed on Li Chang. The teachers around him were equally thrilled. An S-level talent is rare, but it is still fairly common. But an SSS level, that is truly a 1-in-a-billion prodigy. Li Chang must immediately be listed as a key figure for special training. Jiangling High School is finally going to have a martial god. The principal was so excited that he could hardly speak coherently. He was completely caught up in the frenzy. The other teachers all nodded in agreement. An SSS-level genius is worth their full investment to nurture. Li Chang, my classmate, could you sign an autograph for me? You are bound to become a top-tier powerhouse in the future. I pretended to be an overly enthusiastic fan, excitedly rushing up to Li Chang. At this moment, Li Chang was already basking in his own pride. Hearing my request, they couldn't stop laughing, happily took the pen and paper, casually signed their name. Ding, detected an SSS-level talent 1 meter ahead. Would you like to copy it? Do you even need to ask? Without hesitation, I chose to confirm, not copying an SSS-level talent. Wouldn't that be completely foolish? Ding! Copy successful! Congratulations to the host for acquiring the SSS level talent of the Divine Speed Physique. The cultivation speed is 100 times faster than the average person. This is truly a game changer, as expected from an SSS level talent. 100 times faster cultivation speed. Who could possibly handle this? Other classmates, seeing my success, will definitely ask for autographs. They immediately swarmed over, surrounding Li Qiang completely. Li Qiang was even more pleased with himself, welcoming everyone without hesitation, one by one. The teachers, around watching this scene, had smiles of satisfaction on their faces. Suddenly died, a flash of blood streaked across, accompanied by a chilling sound. Li Qiang's head was instantly severed by a classmate with blood-red eyes. Oh my God, Li Qiang is dead. Chen Shan, have you lost your mind? Why did you kill him? The scene instantly descended into chaos. I stood a short distance away, staring at Li Qiang's corpse. A chill ran through my heart. What is going on? The principal in the distance was completely stunned. My SSS level genius is gone just like that. The teachers next to the principal were equally speechless in shock. It was hard to accept this reality at the moment. Boom, boom! An overwhelming force of energy engulfed the entire square. I instantly felt my whole body completely paralyzed. Is this the power of an innate expert, able to suppress everyone in just a single thought? Everyone was trembling in fear. The young man who killed Li Qiang was utterly crushed by the immense energy. The culprit's body shook violently. His skin turned bright red. Sharp claws grew out, along with jet-black fur. In the blink of an eye, that creature was engulfed by the principal's energy force and burned alive into a pool of blood. That student had transformed into a demon. It is all taken care of now. Everyone, let's continue the testing, the principal said through gritted teeth. His voice echoed through the open square. I silently let out a sigh of relief. The back was already drenched in cold sweat. Looks like I need to act discreetly. Finally obtained an SSS-level talent with great effort. Can't afford to become a short-lived fool. Better head home first. Name, Qingtian Talent, Lightning Speed Divine Body, SSS level. Realm, first stage of body severing cultivation technique. Basic body severing manual. Martial skill, Falling Cloud Palm. S grade, beginner level. Vital energy value, 2.5. There are 30 days left until the next replication. I glanced at my attribute panel, let out a sigh of relief. This is the kind of heaven-defying talent that could make me a martial god. I need to test out its effects first. I activated the broken body technique. Immediately felt a warm current flowing through my entire body. It was as if an invisible force was continuously pouring energy into my body. So this is the power of an SSS grade talent. Absolutely incredible. Time silently slipped away. 4 hours later. Ding! Congratulations to the host for reaching the 7th and 2nd levels of the Broken Body realm. I slowly opened my eyes. I was deeply shocked. This cultivation speed is simply unbelievable. I threw a punch towards the air. Bang! The air shattered, instantly creating a vacuum zone. This power even left me in awe. I couldn't help but marvel at how terrifying this talent is. Then I went back to focusing on my training, feeling full of hope for the future. Hey bro, you are back. I heard a genius with an SSS level talent from your school has died. Is it true? A crisp voice suddenly rang out. I paused my training, stepping out of the room. What caught my eye was a youthful and beautiful girl. My sister, Qin Xin Yue, held up her phone and said with a cheeky smile, "It seems the principal is in for some serious trouble this time." I took the phone and glanced at it. The screen displayed a trending topic related to Li Chang. Shocking. Zhang Ling was known for producing the shortest-lived SSS-level talent holder. Wow, this Li Qiang is unbelievably unlucky. A future martial arts legend has fallen just like that. If it weren't for his incredible talent, that demon probably wouldn't have appeared. What kind of talent did you awaken, bro? Qin Xin Yue asked with a curious look on her face. It has to be SSS rank, of course, I said, raising an eyebrow. My tone was full of confidence. Qin Xin Yue stuck out her tongue. Fine, don't say anything then. Do you think SSS rank talents grow on trees or something? After chatting for a while, I went back to my training. In just a few days, I advanced to the 4th level of the broken body technique. The falling cloud palm technique improved rapidly. It quickly reached perfection, only one step away from the legendary divine mastery level. Bang, bang, bang. Suddenly, there was a loud knocking on the door, accompanied by an angry shout. Qin Xiao, I know you are home. Hurry up and open the door, or I'll break down your door. I frowned slightly, then walked outside. A scar-faced man with a tough look was glaring at me fiercely. You haven't paid this month's protection fee yet. How dare you try to break my door? I stared coldly at Zhang Hu and said. Zhang Hu's body shivered. I wondered what was going on with this guy. Why does his gaze look so intimidating? Zhang Hu trembled all over. He unleashed a sharp and overwhelming presence. He snarled viciously, Kid, don't you understand when I tell you to pay the protection fee? This is a place where names are left behind. No one would care even if you were killed here. My expression turned cold. Maybe I would have paid if it were in the past. But now, without saying a word, I threw a punch straight at him. Zhang Hu's pupils contracted. He sneered in his heart. A mere 1st-level broken body realm. Trash dares to make a move. Truly tired of living as the local bully of this name-staying area. Zhang Hu knew the strength of the residents around here like the back of his hand. In his opinion, being at the 1st level of the broken body realm is completely useless. Even standing still, you wouldn't be able to land a hit. A smirk appeared on the corner of his mouth. He clearly had no intention of dodging. Bang! Zhang Hu was instantly sent flying. He crashed hard into the surrounding wall. This can't be happening. Aren't you just at the 1st level of the broken body realm? Zhang Hu wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. He looked at me with fear in his eyes. Who told you that I was at the 1st level of broken body realm? I said calmly and indifferently. Isn't that Zhang Hu? How did your kid suddenly become so strong? That Zhang Hu is at the 4th level of broken body realm. And yet, he was knocked down. Could it be that he awakened some powerful talent? The crowd burst into discussions around us. Everyone looked at me in astonishment. You won't need to pay protection fees anymore. Zhang Hu gritted his teeth as he spoke. His tone was filled with anger. Are you sure you didn't get something wrong? I sneered as I replied. A sudden sense of foreboding washed over Zhang Hu. What is this guy planning to do? How much are you willing to pay to save your life? This is the area where names are left behind. Even if I killed you, no one would care. The corners of my mouth lifted as I spoke. Zhang Hu felt a shiver in his heart. Aren't these the exact words he just said? Now it is his turn. My boss is the leader of the Black Wind Gang, Black Wolf. If you dare to kill me, he won't let you get away with it. Zhang Hu said, trembling. I raised my eyebrows slightly. A mere broken body. Even the ninth heaven can't contain it. I am now at the fourth stage of the broken body realm, with the perfect level falling cloud palm technique. Even if the Black Wolf wants my life, it'll take some effort. And in a few days, I won't just be at the fourth stage of the broken body realm. I gave you a chance. Since you are seeking death, I'll grant your wish. Falling cloud palm. A terrifying palm strike carried a powerful impact, and it slammed toward Zhang-Hu. Zhang-Hu was completely consumed by fear. He wondered what kind of terrifying palm technique this was. In an instant, he was shattered to pieces by the falling cloud palm. Well done. Qin Shao did a great job. That bastard deserved to die a long time ago. The neighbors around applauded in approval. People in the Liaming district were used to life-and-death situations. Naturally, they weren't frightened by the bloody scene before them. I chatted a little more with the neighbors, checking the loot. This guy really scored big, just like a tiger. He actually had 20 body recovery pills and 100,000 star coins on him. No wonder he is so good at this line of work. But for now, I need to leave this place for a while. Who knows when that Black Wolf will come looking for me? Better lay low for the time being. Once I reach the warrior level, I'll deal with that Black Wolf. By then, taking him down will be as easy as crushing an ant. I pulled out my phone and sent a message to my little sister. After explaining the situation, he left home, headed straight to the Warrior Mall. Bought the level 1 martial art wind slicing blade technique, F-level martial skill ethereal steps, and an alloy combat knife. Spent all 100,000 new currency. Name, Qin Shao. Talent, lightning speed physique, SSS level. Realm 7th heaven of body refinement. Foundation technique body severance art. Martial skill, falling cloud palm F level. Divine wind slicing blade technique, level 1. Mastering the ethereal footwork at grade F with a perfect blood energy value of 15. 22 days left until the next replication. Breaking through to the 7th stage of the body, severing realm in just 5 days. Unfortunately, the body severing pills are all used up. Without the pills, the cultivation progress is way too slow. Otherwise, reaching the 10th stage in half a month would have been possible. If others heard my thoughts on this, they would surely be infuriated. Reaching the 7th stage of the body severing realm in less than 10 days, and still thinking it's slow. This is simply unheard of in cultivation. Training monsters through endless practice isn't the best approach. You have to combine it with real combat to truly improve your skills. After thinking for a moment, I left the training room. Inside the Black Wind Gang's base, a fierce-looking man was staring at a tablet. It was playing footage of Zhang-Hu being killed. That scumbag. Daring to kill someone from the Black Wind Gang. He must have a death wish, the man said, with a vicious tone. Murderous intent surged in his eyes. The leader heard that kid is only at the first level of the broken body realm. Could it be that he got his hands on some kind of treasure? That's the only way he could easily take someone down. One of Zhang Wu's men rolled his eyes and said, Black Wolf's eyes lit up. This kid suddenly got so strong. He must have had some kind of fortuitous encounter. Then he said in a deep voice, bring that kid to me. Let him understand the consequences of crossing the Black Wind Gang. I wield an alloy battle blade, carrying a pack on the back, heading alone into the wilderness. It is said that a 6-layer broken body expert from the 5 poisons managed to kill an otherworldly beast in the wild. And, unbelievably, it dropped a core. That core is worth 1,000,000 star coins. That is just insane. An otherworldly beast actually dropped a core. This kind of luck is simply off the charts. Listening to the chatter around, I was secretly thinking to myself, that guy really has incredible luck. The wilderness was in complete chaos all around. There were not only fights between people and beasts, but also battles between humans happening from time to time. Killing and looting were nothing out of the ordinary here. Suddenly, a roar echoed from the distance. My pupils contracted instantly. I quickly turned my gaze towards the source of the sound. In a flash, a creature with sharp fangs lunged forward. I instantly used the ethereal footwork technique, effortlessly dodging the monster's attack. The green-fanged rat is a first-rank demonic beast. Its characteristic is its sharp and menacing teeth. It is known for its quick and agile movements. It has a preference for consuming human blood. Its claws are razor-sharp. Its fangs are excellent materials for crafting weapons. Looking at the ferocious monster not far away, I activated both the wind-slicing blade technique and the ethereal footwork at the same time. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The green chat rat let out a sharp screech. It launched a fierce attack at me. Bang! The wind-slicing blade technique was unstoppable. It struck the green chat rat, making a clear and crisp sound of impact and collision. In the blink of an eye, the green chat rat was already covered in blood. I seized a flaw in its defense and landed a precise slash on the green chat rat's neck. The green chat rat was instantly killed with a swift motion. Looking at the beheaded green chat rat, I felt a surge of joy in my heart. I hadn't expected myself to become this powerful. Green chat rats are considered among the best of first-tier beasts. Normally, even someone at the 8th level of the break body stage would have to put in a lot of effort to take one down. It seems my strength has already far surpassed the average 8th level of break body stage. If I were to use the divine level falling cloud palm, I might even stand a chance against someone at the 9th level of the break body stage. As I kept fighting, my combat skills became sharper and more refined. In just a few hours, I had taken down dozens of first-level beasts. My backpack was filled with all kinds of materials. Selling them should cover my training expenses for a while. With my bag on my back, I slowly headed toward the exit. Suddenly, the sound of hurried footsteps echoed in the distance, accompanied by shouting and cursing. My eyes narrowed slightly. I became alert and on guard. A man in tattered clothes was carrying a bundle on his back. He was running desperately. Behind him, a group of fierce pursuers was chasing after him. The man suddenly threw a box at me. He shouted loudly, "Old Six, take this inner elixir. I'll go distract them. Let's meet at the usual spot." My pupils constricted. I saw through his trick to use me. The alloy battle knife in his hand struck without hesitation. The box shattered instantly with a crisp sound. There was nothing inside, completely empty. That man clearly didn't expect me to be so decisive. He directly slashed the box into pieces. "Xiaohua, stop playing tricks. Hand over the inner core obediently, and I might just spare your life," the man chasing from behind said with a sneer. The man called Xiaohua looked pale, out of breath, staring at me fiercely. A hint of coldness flashed in my eyes. "How dare you try to use me?" The ones chasing after Xiaohua were members of the Blue Moon Gang. Leading them was the Blue Moon Gang leader, Lan Shan. He was also a martial artist at the 7th level of broken body cultivation. "Young man, I can tell you are not on the same side as him. You better leave quickly. We won't make things difficult for you. Hand over the inner core, or I'll take your life." I ignored Lan Shan and directly spoke to Xiaohua. Xiaohua was stunned when he heard this. His face was full of shock. This naive kid, does he even know what he is doing? Lan Shan and the others were dumbfounded when they saw this. They were left speechless. Is this guy tired of living? "Haha, kid, you've got guts. I'll hand it over and see if you dare to take it." Xiaohua had a mocking smile on his face. He pulled out a blood-red inner core from his pocket and casually tossed it over. Without hesitation, I reached out and caught the inner core directly. Lan Shan and the others saw this, and all looked at me with unfriendly expressions. There was a murderous intent in his eyes. I calmly placed the inner core into my bag. I coldly said, "What are you going to do? Do you want to take it by force?" Blue Mountain was so furious that he laughed instead. "I want your life." Then he raised his hand and waved. He immediately ordered his men to attack me. I let out a mocking laugh and coldly uttered a few words clueless about your own demise. The ethereal footwork paired with the wind-slicing blade technique. The alloy combat knife in his hand was like the scythe of the Grim Reaper, ruthlessly harvesting the lives of Lan Shan's subordinates. Not far away, Xiaohua witnessed the sudden outbreak of battle. He couldn't help but feel a jolt of shock in his heart. This young boy's strength is simply too terrifying. The air was thick with the intense smell of blood. Lan Shan's followers were nothing more than weaklings at the mere 745th level of broken body refinement. You can't even touch the hem of my clothes. The air was filled with the sounds of desperate screams and fierce fighting. Kid, you are asking for death. Watching his men get slaughtered like weaklings. Lan Shan let out a furious roar. He gritted his teeth and charged forward. Seeing this, I immediately used the Cloudfall Palm at the divine level. The powerful palm strike carried an overwhelming force. It slammed toward Lan Shan's body. Lan Shan screamed in agony. His eyes were filled with fear. In the next moment, he was blown into countless pieces. "I surrender. Don't kill me. Don't kill me." Seeing the leader being taken down so easily, the remaining ones were scared out of their wits. I let out a cold snort. I ignored the pleas for mercy from these insignificant fighters. Not far away was Xiaohua. The expression on his face shifted from disdain to sheer terror. He spoke tremblingly. "Young man, I have already given you the inner core. Can I leave now?" "I saved your life. How do you plan to repay me?" I glanced at Xiaohua indifferently and said. Upon hearing this, Xiaohua's heart trembled. It was as if his heart skipped a beat. As if from my cold gaze, he saw the shadow of death. His voice trembled as he said, "I can give you 100,000. Before he could finish speaking, my blade had already flashed with a cold gleam. A splatter of blood accompanied by a muffled sound. Xiaohua's body stiffened and collapsed onto the ground. "Repay me with your life, then," I muttered to myself, glancing at Xiaohua's lifeless body. I felt nothing in my heart. If not for my overwhelming strength, I suppose it would have been me lying here. After that, I headed to the martial artist marketplace in the city. The staff carefully counted the items in the package. He respectfully said, "Sir, the total value of these items is 600,000 credits. And also this item. Please take a look at it as well." I took out the beast core. The staff member's eyes lit up when he saw it. "Sir, this beast core alone is worth 1,000,000 credits." I nodded in satisfaction. After a moment, I left with 100 body restoration pills, a complete set of combat gear, and 2 level 1 martial arts manuals. Left the Warrior Mall. Went straight to the training room to focus on cultivation. Time passed little by little. 5 days later. Ding! Congratulations to the host for breaking through to the 10th heaven of body restoration. I let out a small breath. My entire being exuded a sharp and imposing aura. A faint golden light seems to swirl around the surface of the body. The cultivation speed is still too slow. Even though the 10th level of the broken body realm has been reached, the heavenly blade has yet to break through to the divine realm. However, the perfect level heavenly blade is still barely sufficient. The Vajra technique has only just reached the mastery level. A brief test showed the mastered Vajra technique can negate 10% of damage, while also greatly enhancing attack power. Suddenly, a beeping sound started. The communication device went off. I furrowed my brow and immediately opened the message. Qin Xiao, your sister actually dared to steal from the IF family. Get over here right now. A cold voice came through the communication device. My expression turned icy in an instant. My sister would never steal. This is absolutely ridiculous. So, it is the Lai family. Ha! If you can't give me an explanation, then don't blame me for being harsh. Inside the ISI family hall, a sweet-looking young girl was staring angrily at the person across from her. Qin Xinyue, at such a young age, instead of learning good things, actually went and learned to steal. Looks like your brother probably isn't a good person either. He came, so arrest him too. The eldest daughter of the Li family, Lilan, sneered as she spoke. Her eyes were full of mockery. Qin Xinyue's face turned bright red with anger. I didn't steal anything. You're the ones falsely accusing me. A hint of disdain flashed in Lilan's eyes. Just a lowly maid from the slums. If they say you stole it, then you stole it. Do you even have the right to fight back? Not far away, onlookers were whispering to each other. You can't tell just by looking. Who would have thought such a pretty young girl could be a thief? Maybe the Lai family is framing her on purpose, picking on a young girl like that. The Lai family is wealthy and powerful. Would they really need to frame a young girl? What a ridiculous situation. Flies don't bother eggs without cracks. If he hadn't caused trouble himself, who would falsely accuse him? Hearing the chatter around her, Qin Xinyue felt so wronged that it was hard to breathe. He was just here to stroll around, and ended up being accused of being a thief. Listening to the crowd's discussions, Lilan's lips curled into a smug smile. Get out of my way. At that moment, a cold and sharp voice echoed, carrying an undeniable chill. It shook the entire crowd. Hearing my voice, Qin Xinyue could no longer hold back. Her tears fell like a string of broken pearls. I pushed through the crowd and stood in front of Qin Yue. My voice was deep, yet it carried a sense of reassurance. Don't be afraid, I'm here. Oh man, I really didn't steal anything. Qin Xinyue sobbed, her eyes red, as she looked at me. I gently patted Qin Xinyue on the head, my voice soft and calm, saying, I believe you. Leave this matter to your brother to handle. What a bold statement. Do you even know what your sister stole? Lilan sneered with a face full of disdain. I gave Lilan a cold glance. The calm tone sent chills down one's spine. Is your life worth it? Hearing this, Lilan reacted. His pupils suddenly contracted. My life is truly a joke. He had already looked into it. This Qin Xiao is nothing more than a useless person without any talent. The onlookers around were completely stunned. Is this guy out of his mind? He actually dared to threaten the eldest daughter of the Lai family. The eldest daughter of the Li family is a genius with an A-grade talent. She is also a martial apprentice at the 5th level of the Broken Body realm. This guy probably just awakened his abilities a few days ago. The spectators shook their heads one after another. They looked at me as if I were a fool. I completely ignored their mocking remarks. My eyes remained coldly fixed on Lilan the whole time. Lilan was so unnerved by my stare that she felt a chill run down her spine. She immediately grew furious, out of embarrassment. She gritted her teeth and shouted angrily to capture these two. How dare you threaten me? As the eldest daughter of the Li family, in Jiangling City, everyone who meets her would respectfully call her Miss Liv. But this man, right in front of her, even dared to try and take her life. That was nothing short of asking for death. The servants behind Lilan all sneered as they looked at me. How dare you offend the young lady. You are just digging your own grave. Capture them alive for me. Leland's voice was icy cold. She spoke, saying I will make them understand. Threatening me, Leland, comes with a price. As Leland gave the order, the servants charged forward with an intimidating presence. A mocking smirk appeared at the corner of my mouth. Who gave you the confidence to try capturing me alive? The falling cloud palm at the divine mastery level, combined with the strength of the 10 layers of broken body, struck fiercely at the approaching servant. The powerful palm force felt like a world-ending power, stirring up rolling waves of air, accompanied by a deafening roar. The scene instantly turned into a hellish battlefield. Bang, bang, bang. The sound of tearing echoed continuously, the servants charging forward. In an instant, it was blown into pieces of flesh and blood. Shattered stones were scattered all over the ground. The crowd around could only feel their stomachs churning. The gruesome scene left each of them pale as a sheet. Leland froze on the spot. Her eyes were blank and lifeless. How is this even possible? Wasn't he supposed to be a talentless good-for-nothing? What was that destructive attack just now? Leland's body trembled uncontrollably, shouted in utter terror, "My dad is Li Gang! You can't kill me!" His tone was filled with barely concealed panic. My gaze was fixed firmly on Leland, stepping closer to her one step at a time. "Tell me why you framed my sister." Leland's legs gave out beneath her. She hurriedly said, "It was Chen Xiao from Class 3 who made me do it." She confessed to your sister, but got rejected. Let me help deal with him, ruining his reputation. Who on earth is Chen Xiao? Never even heard of him. I frowned slightly, muttered that Chen Xiao is my classmate. He seems to be the grandson of the third elder of Lingxiao Pavilion. Qin Xinyue said in a low voice. Lingxiao Pavilion is a well-known force in Jiangling City. The Lord of Ling Mountain is a formidable expert at the 8th level of acquired cultivation. His strength is absolutely overwhelming. He holds an incredibly prestigious status in Jiangling City. I let out a cold chuckle. The corners of my mouth curled into a trace of disdain. So what if it is the Lingxiao Pavilion? If you dare to bully my sister, even the King of Heaven himself would have to die. Leland noticed something off about my expression. A faint smile appeared on her face again. Chen Xiao and I are really good friends. If you dare to kill me, Lingxiao Pavilion definitely won't let you off the hook easily. Hearing this, I gave him a look as if he were an idiot. This guy couldn't possibly think Lingxiao Pavilion would scare me. Could he? Brother naive, maybe we should just let it go. Qin Xinyue tightly gripped the corner of her clothes. She said timidly, "That Lingxiao Pavilion is way too powerful. We can't afford to provoke them." I gently stroked Qin Xinyue's head. "Don't worry, the Lingxiao Pavilion is nothing to fear." Li Lan, who was not far away, heard this. Her heart sank. Her face suddenly turned even paler. She stammered and said, "I have a Hoshian pill. Please don't kill me. I am willing to offer the Hoshian pill to you. My dad has a lot of money." I raised my eyebrows slightly. The Hoshian pill is a rare elixir that helps speed up the condensation of Yuan power seeds. After reaching the 10th level of body refining, you need to form Yuan power seeds in your body. Only by successfully condensing Yuan power seeds can you step into the realm of a Hoshian warrior. The value of the Hoshian pill reaches millions of star coins, and it is extremely rare to find on the market. Even with a lot of money, it might still be impossible to purchase. This girl actually carries a Haotian pill with her. I looked at Li Lan with a cold, emotionless gaze. Speaking slowly, I said, "Hand over the Haotian pill and the star coin card." Li Lan hurriedly searched through her belongings. She pulled out a box and a star coin card from her pocket and handed them over. I took the box and the card from her and opened them to take a look. Sure enough, there was a clear and shiny pill inside. It was undoubtedly the Hotian pill. Leland's face showed a hint of relief when she saw me accept the pill. Her anxious expression softened with a trace of joy. You even dare to take something that belongs to me. Just wait until my dad gets back. I'll make sure you wish you were never born. Suddenly, a cold blade sliced sharply through the air. With a dull sound, Leland's eyes widened in shock. Her entire body instantly turned ice cold. Why? I shrugged my shoulders. My voice was indifferent as I responded. I just asked you to hand over the stuff. I never agreed not to kill you. The crowd around was instantly in an uproar. He actually killed the eldest daughter of the Li family. He must be out of his mind. The Li family won't let this go. This guy is way too ruthless. Such a delicate and charming beauty. And he killed her without hesitation. What a complete waste. Leland's death. It caused quite an uproar all of a sudden. Although the Li family isn't exactly a top-tier, wealthy clan, they are still considered a prominent and influential force in Jiangling City. Moreover, the head of the Li family is an acquired martial artist. Not long after, Li Gang looked at the blood-stained floor. He felt as though his heart was being torn apart. His most beloved daughter had unexpectedly passed away. Lanner, I swear, I will avenge you. His furious roar echoed through the entire street. At the same time, everyone was focused on Leland. At the moment of death, I had already returned to the cultivation room with my sister to focus on training. Once I break through the warrior's realm, what can the head of the Li family do then? It is nothing but trash that can be easily eliminated. I quickly adjusted my state to its peak condition, then swallowed the Hotian pill. In an instant, a warm power began to flow throughout my body. My limbs and bones made cracking and popping sounds. The energy in the air started to slowly gather around me. 2 days later. Ding! Congratulations to the host for breaking through to the postnatal warrior stage, reaching the first level of the postnatal realm after 2 days of training. Finally, achieved a breakthrough. Name, Qin Xiao. Gift, 100 Speed Divine Body, SSS level, Postnatal Realm Level 1. Technique, Basic Severing Body Art. Martial Arts Technique, Falling Cloud Palm S grade. Transcendent Wind Slicing, Blade Technique Level 1. Transcendent Ethereal Step F grade. Perfect Heaven Origin / Level 1. Perfect Diamond Technique, Level 1 Mastery Vitality, Value 80. 10 days until the next talent replication. After breaking through to Martial Artist, I realized the basic severing body technique can no longer meet my training needs. I must purchase more advanced techniques. The specialized cultivation pills are shockingly expensive. A single vitality pill has a market price of as much as 100,000 star coins. It is yet another massive expense. But that Leland was actually quite considerate. Before her death, she even left me a card loaded with 5 million star coins, as expected from a young lady of a prominent family. Even the wealth she carried with her is enough to leave people speechless. Brother, you've already broken through to the warrior level. Qin Xinyue curiously sized me up. I smiled and gently ruffled Qin Xinyue's hair, speaking in a doting tone, and said, "That is right. Your brother is now a bona fide postnatal warrior." Qin Xinyue blinked her eyes, her face full of disbelief. "No way, bro. Are you really the legendary SSS level talent? Even though he is still young, he knows what becoming a warrior at 16 means. That is a genius. Among geniuses, even many teachers in level 3 are still stuck in the warrior realm. They are still at the warrior stage." I nodded with a smile. "That is right, but this matter must not be leaked. Otherwise, it could lead to serious trouble." Qin Xinyue quickly covered her mouth, nodding like a little chick pecking at rice. "Don't worry, bro. I won't tell anyone." At this moment in the name, leaving area, That group from the Black Wind Gang is wandering and peeking around outside my house. Boss, could it be that Qin Shao is really scared? We're running away and not coming back, right? A younger member couldn't help but speak up. Black Wolf heard this and let out a cold laugh, saying, "Let's wait one more day. If they still don't come back, just head straight to his sister's school." Hearing this, the guys around all had sly smiles on their faces. This should have been done a long time ago. When I brought Qin Xinyue back home, from afar I saw a group of people sneaking around near the door. I spoke coldly and asked who they were. He Lang rubbed his eyes. "Isn't this Qin Shao? That kid actually came back." And all the Pida went. He even brought back a girl as beautiful as a fairy. His gaze stopped on Qin Xinyue, revealing a look of greed. He sneered and said, "Brat, you killed someone from our Black Wind Gang, and you still dare to ask who I am. You are really courting death." Hearing this, I frowned slightly. Yeah, the Black Wind Bar. Earlier, I took out that guy Zhang who was collecting protection fees. If it weren't for this group coming to my doorstep, I would have almost forgotten about it. My eyes swept over the filthy and messy house. Anger instantly surged within me. Since you're so eager to throw your lives away, don't blame me for being ruthless. I set the bag in my hand down and slowly drew out my alloy battle blade. A murderous intent surged in his eyes. The Black Wolf noticed this. A mocking smirk appeared on his lips. He sneered and said, "Kid, if you kneel and beg for mercy, I might let you die with an intact body." Hearing this, I chuckled softly. Heavenly blade strike. The energy within me quickly channeled into the blade. An alloy battle blade. A powerful energy radiance instantly enveloped everything. The Black Wolf's heart suddenly skipped a beat. His elemental force trembled violently. "You are actually a warrior. How is this even possible?" The aura emanating from me made him feel as if he was facing a towering mountain. He immediately lost all will to resist. "Spare me, I won't dare to do it again." I completely ignored the Black Wolf's pleas for mercy. The momentum gathered by the alloy blade, striking out fiercely like an arrow released from a bow, accompanied by a thunderous roar that shook the earth. In an instant, no one was left alive. "Qin Shao, you are incredible. You actually eradicated the Black Wind Gang. That cancer, that cursed Black Wind Gang, has finally been destroyed. Daughter, you can rest in peace in the afterlife." The neighbors around were as excited as if it were a New Year celebration. The Black Wind Gang used their power to bully others, engaging in unlawful acts. Everyone has long harbored deep hatred for them. After exchanging a few pleasantries with the neighbors, I took my sister and left the naming district. We found a hotel to stay temporarily. Once my sister was settled in, I headed straight to the martial artist store. "Sir, are you looking to buy training techniques for post-level martial artists? May I ask if you are already a martial artist?" The staff politely inquired. I gave a slight nod and responded, "I had just made a breakthrough recently." Then I released my inner energy. A powerful and intimidating aura instantly spread out. The staff's pupils suddenly contracted. This young man looks so youthful. He is actually a martial artist. This has to be a top-notch genius. If only we could recruit him. The staff was absolutely thrilled and said, "Sir, have you ever thought about joining the Tianwu Association? By passing the assessment, you can get a free copy of an advanced level cultivation technique." The Tianwu Association was founded by Ling Tianwushan, the strongest warrior in China. Its influence extends across the entire nation, even though the requirements for joining are extremely strict. But once you pass the assessment, the rewards are incredibly generous. Isn't it true that the Sky Dance Club requires innate level talent to join? I've only just become a dancer, I asked in confusion. The staff respectfully explained. The Sky Dance Club recently set up a new department. Dancers under 18 can now take the assessment. After passing, they become reserve members. I took a deep breath and said, "All right, I am ready to join in." A hint of delight flashed through the staff member's eyes. After finishing the paperwork, I also bought an F-grade Ironblood battle blade. I spent the next 2 days in the training room. The heavenly blade technique reached the divine realm just yesterday. But it feels like I am still a step away from fully mastering the blade momentum. Thinking back to the time in the slum district, when I slashed down Black Wolf and his men in one strike, my blood begins to boil with excitement once again. An overwhelming force that crushes everything. Ultimate damage at its peak. All of a sudden, it felt like something in my mind had been unlocked. So this is what the essence of a blade feels like. An intensely sharp aura wrapped around me. I slowly closed my eyes. A powerful surge suddenly burst out from my body. It formed into a massive blade of air. The heavens edge strike. The air blade slashed directly toward the alloy figurine. SSS, the super figurine, instantly shattered into pieces. Watching the super figurine turn into fragments in the distance, a smile appeared on my face. The blade's momentum had fully formed. Martial artists below the 4th level. No matter how many come, they can all be defeated. As for those above the 4th level, that is a different story. When martial artists reach the 4th postnatal level, their strength undergoes a qualitative leap. Anything below 4 levels is considered the early acquired stage. 4 levels signify the mid-stage of the acquired realm. A martial artist in the mid-acquired stage can easily crush opponents in the early acquired stage. The gap between realms isn't something easily crossed. 2 strong guards stood at the entrance of Ling Shao Pavilion. The room echoed with constant crackling sounds. A short-statured boy had a face full of anger. He kept smashing the valuable items in the room. "You won't let me take revenge." I smashed everything in the house. This young man is none other than Chen Xiao, the grandson of the 3rd elder of Ling Shao Pavilion. After hearing the news about Li Lan's murder, Chen Xiao was so furious he could barely contain himself. He kept shouting about avenging him. But his grandfather Chen Hong stopped him and placed him under house arrest. He was forbidden to go out. At that moment, an old man with a white beard walked in with a stern expression. "Ah, Xiao, it is not that Grandpa doesn't want you to take revenge. Wait until the Tianwu assessment is over. Grandpa will personally twist his head off and present it to you." Chen Hong felt heartbroken seeing his grandson in such pain. He was immediately overwhelmed with pity. "Grandpa, why do we have to wait? You weren't like this before." Chen Xiao's eyes brimmed with tears. He leaned against Chen Hong's chest, sobbing uncontrollably. Chen Hong gently stroked his grandson's forehead, kindly said to the obedient grandson, "Right now, there are prominent figures from the Tianwu Association in Jiangling City. We need to act cautiously. Let's discuss everything after the Tianwu Association assessment is over." The death of Li Lan was overshadowed by the news of the Tianwu Association's assessment. For now, the Lai family hasn't made any moves. How amazing it would be to join the Tianwu Association. What are you thinking about? Did you check the selection criteria? Dancers under the age of 18. Just this rule alone eliminates 99% of people. On every street and corner, people are buzzing about the selection of preliminary members for the Tianwu Association. This selection is on a national scale. All major family forces that meet the requirements have eagerly signed up. After all, it is an organization founded by the Lingtian martial god, a top-tier cultivation force. Countless golden lights shimmered within me. Boom, boom, boom. The air was filled with continuous rumbling sounds. Every single move I made seemed to carry an overwhelming and unstoppable power. As time went by, the rumbling grew louder and louder. After an unknown amount of time, bang, a wave of golden light burst out from my fist and blasted toward the super android. The puppet instantly turned to ashes. Congratulations to the host. The mastery level of the diamond technique has been raised to perfection. I slowly opened my eyes. The diamond technique truly lives up to being a first-level martial art. After reaching the perfect mastery level, the improvement in strength is remarkable. Even if I face a mid-stage Haoshian warrior, I am confident I can hold my ground in a fight. Attribute, Table Ding. Name, Qin Shao. Talent, Lightning Speed, Divine Body. SSS level postnatal stage, first layer basic technique. Broken body art skill. Introduction to blade style. Increase blade technique power by 50%. Martial art falling cloud palm at F level mastery. Wind slicing blade technique at level 1 mastery. Ethereal footwork at level 1 perfection. Heavenly origin / at level 1 mastery. Perfect mastery of the first level of King Kong techniques. Health points at 90. 7 days until the next replication time. Mastery of 3 divine techniques. 2 techniques perfected. If outsiders learned about this, I reached this level in less than a month, they would probably be shocked to the core. Many innate martial artists mastering just one perfect level technique would already be considered extraordinary, not to mention the godlike level. That is a skill only martial arts masters have the strength to master. As for me, right now, I should be an unbeatable presence at the early postnatal stage, even though my martial arts rank isn't very high. The high level of proficiency more than makes up for the gap in rank. Plus, I've also comprehended the blade technique. Even if it is just the beginner level, it is already quite astonishing. After all, the blade technique. Only those at the level of innate martial masters can comprehend this. I've never heard of this before. No one has ever understood blade techniques at the acquired stage. The streets are bustling with activity. People are all discussing the Tianwu examination. It's said that Su Xingha from the SU family is also participating. Word has it that he's already a master at the 5th stage of the acquired realm. What? Isn't he only 18 years old? How could he possibly reach the 5th stage of the acquired realm? These children of prominent families are something else. Pills like Duanti Dan and Yuanqi Dan are consumed as casually as eating candy, not to mention Su Xinghe, who is incredibly talented. The young master of Lingxiao Pavilion, Chen Tian, will also be participating. He is also just 18 years old, but he has already reached the 6th level of the Haoshian stage. The assessment is taking place in a massive square. In the VIP section, many influential figures with strong auras are seated. Around 200 people have come to take part in the assessment. Each one carries an air of arrogance. After all, becoming a martial artist before turning 18 is no small feat. Every single one of them is exceptionally talented. Seeing so many gifted individuals around me, I couldn't help but feel amazed in secret. I never expected Jiangling City to be hiding so many geniuses. I wonder what this evaluation will be like. Among the crowd, someone was whispering quietly, "No matter what happens, I, Li Tai, will definitely pass." a burly teenager said with full confidence on his face. Who doesn't know how to talk big? Just don't run away embarrassed later. A young man in white, standing nearby, sneered sarcastically. Su Xinghe, do you think you are the only one in Jiangling City who can fight? In the past, it was always me holding back for you. Li Tai heard this. Immediately, couldn't help but snap back. Got beaten by me like a dog, and still claimed it was out of mercy. Well, Li Tai, you must be incredibly generous. Ha ha ha, Su Xinghe continued mocking. The crowd, hearing this, all looked at Li Tai with strange expressions. Although Li Tai was also a highly talented genius, he had always been overshadowed by Su Xinghe. Every time they fought, he never won. Seeing everyone giving him those odd looks, Li Tai's face turned extremely unpleasant. Suddenly, he seemed to notice something. You little bastard. What the hell are you staring at? Are you looking to get yourself killed? Li Tai noticed someone in the crowd. It was a very young boy. He immediately shifted his anger. I was completely stunned at that moment. Are you talking to me? Li Tai saw how aggressive my tone was. His anger flared up even more. What's the matter? Not convinced. Do you want me to spar with you? Li Tai said with a mocking expression on his face. I can't defeat Su Xinghe. But do you really think I can't handle a kid like you? Everyone around had a look of amusement on their faces, watching the two intently. Although Li Tai wasn't as strong as Su Xinghe, he was much stronger than most people. With a sudden swoosh, my gaze instantly turned icy, and I charged forward in a flash. Li Tai's eyes were filled with mockery. You little guy, are you courting death? Right after that, elemental force began to surge. A suit of elemental armor formed and took shape on Li Tai's body. At the same time, his hands were also enveloped in elemental energy. An overpowering force gathered in his hands. However, just as Li Tai's energy condensed, I had already flashed right in front of him. I directly swung a slap toward his face. A crisp sound echoed with a sharp slap. Li Tai was instantly sent flying backward. The people around were completely dumbfounded. Where did this young man come from? Who managed to slap Li Tai and send him flying with just one hit? Although Li Tai had always been suppressed by Su Xinghe, he was still a martial artist with an A-level talent and had reached the third stage of postnatal cultivation. Li Tai, who was sent flying, only felt his head buzzing, his face burning with pain, and blood continuously seeping from the corners of his mouth. Who is this young man? Why have I never seen him before? Could he be a hidden top talent from some influential family? Is it possible he's a prodigy kept under wraps by a powerful clan? The crowd around him was buzzing with discussion. Even the important figures nearby took notice of this scene. A man with an imposing presence was observing from a distance. He was closely watching the situation unfolding in the square. This man was none other than Guan Sheng, the hall master in charge of this selection. It's surprising to see such a young dancer of this caliber. No one knows where this young man came from. Guan Sheng looked into the distance with excitement on his face. Before long, a staff member handed over the documents. Guan Sheng stared at the documents in his hand. His pupils suddenly contracted. He turned out to be only 16 years old. I asked why you were barking like a dog. I stomped hard on Li Tai's chest. Li Tai immediately felt as though a mountain was pressing down on him. He couldn't move a muscle. The people around me were visibly shocked by how assertive I was. One after another, they showed expressions of surprise. Where did this young man suddenly come from? His methods are way too domineering. Kid, was it you who ambushed me just now? If you have the guts, let me get up and fight you fair and square. Even though Li Tai was lying on the ground, he showed no signs of fear at all. A hint of mockery flashed in my eyes. He's been beaten to this state and still dares to talk big. Suddenly, there was a loud, snapping sound. He stomped on his ribcage, breaking it in one move. Li Tai screamed in agony, sounding like a pig being slaughtered. Cold sweat poured down his forehead. The sound of people sharply inhaling echoed all around. This guy is way too ruthless. Are you incapable of understanding human language? I asked you what you were barking about earlier. I completely ignored Li Tai's pitiful state and continued interrogating him in a cold tone. Li Tai was tormented by excruciating pain, feeling like he was on the brink of death. The thought of competing or proving himself had long vanished from his mind. He merely mocked you with a single remark. Why put someone through such torment over this? A cold and stern voice suddenly broke the silence in the house. Everyone turned their heads in unison to look. A man dressed in a purple shirt came into view. He was staring at me with a cold, piercing gaze. The young master of the Lingxiao Pavilion. Is Chen Tian planning to stand up for Li Tai? The young man is in danger. This Chen Tian is actually at the 6th level of the Hotian stage. Is he your father or something? Are you planning to stand up for him? I said coldly. Chen Tian froze for a moment after hearing that. His face stiffened. Does this kid not know who I am? Chen Tian, it seems like you need a lesson to remember, Chen Tian said in a cold tone. I let out a cold chuckle. I slowly said, well, let me see for myself. What makes Li Tai's son so exceptional? Chen Tian's face instantly darkened. This guy's words are just too sharp. What is young Lord Chen planning to bully someone younger? As the two faced each other, Su Xinghe stepped up beside me, his eyes fixed intently on Chen Tian. Nice work, young brother. Li Tai's mouth was like he had eaten something disgusting. He definitely deserved a harsh lesson. I blinked my eyes, then gave a kind smile in response. Everyone quieted down. The assessment was about to begin. At this moment, a commanding voice came from afar. Guansheng slowly walked toward the square. Chen Tian let out a cold snort. He turned his head to look at the center of the square. I am Guansheng, the person in charge of this assessment. This is the selection process for the Skydance Association members. There will temporarily be only 10 spots available. In other words, 95% of you will be eliminated. Guansheng spoke calmly. Upon hearing this, everyone showed a look of shock. A 95% elimination rate is truly terrifying. Guansheng scanned the crowd with his gaze. Then he announced that the assessment is now starting. The first test is a strength assessment. The top 80 will advance. As Guansheng made the announcement, the square was once again filled with commotion. Looking at the restless crowd around me, a wave of excitement surged in my heart. It's finally about to begin. Ling Yan stepped up for the test. The staff member called out. A man in a black jacket walked onto the stage. A loud punch slammed heavily onto the power tester. Ling Yan reached 6,000 kilograms. Next was Ling Xia with 6,100 kilograms. Quite a few people looked visibly nervous. Many DJs and dancers typically score around 6,000 kilograms. Only a small number of those with natural strength talents can hit 7,000 kilograms. The next one up was Qin Xiao. I took a deep breath. It was finally my turn. So this person's name is Qin Xiao. Why does it feel like I've heard this name somewhere before? The one who killed the eldest daughter of the Li family. Could it actually be this Qin Xiao? Over at the VIP seats in the distance, an old man with white hair had veins bulging on his forehead. This is the guy who caused my grandson to throw tantrums for such a long time. When I get the chance, I will definitely catch you and make you pay for upsetting my grandson. I took a deep breath. The energy of my blood flowed through my body. Then I launched a punch with full force. Boom! The staff glanced at the numbers on the testing machine. Their pupils suddenly contracted. Qin Xiao, 9,000 kilograms. Next up, Su Xinghe. The entire place fell completely silent. This can't be real. 9,000 kilograms. My third level of the acquired stage is just over 6,000. Did I take a wrong breath? How old is this Qin Xiao anyway? Could it be that he is already an intermediate martial artist? That is impossible since intermediate martial artists start at a minimum of 10,000 kilograms. He should still be a beginner martial artist. The discussions around kept coming one after another. From a distance, Guansheng's face was steaming hot. He was fully aware. I am only at the first level of the acquired stage. Jingji Chen Hong's pupils narrowed slightly. This Qin Xiao has immense potential. If he were to join the Tianwu Association, a cold glint flashed in Chen Hong's eyes. It seemed like he was weighing his options. Chen Tian's face was full of disdain. It is just 9,000 kilograms. Nothing special. I can casually strike with 10,000 or 20,000. Su Xinghe, 14,000 kilograms. Next up, Chen Tian. The staff kept shouting. Su Xinghe, as a fifth-level martial artist in the acquired stage, scoring 14,000 isn't surprising. But Qin Xiao is only at the first level of the acquired stage, and he is just 16 years old. How can this even compare? Chen Tian looked disdainful. It seems like the first place is definitely mine. He lazily walked onto the stage and casually threw a punch. A loud bang echoed. The dynamometer showed 20,000 kilograms. I glanced at Chen Tian on the stage. I couldn't help but think, is this what an intermediate martial artist is like? A casual strike, dealing 20,000 in damage. Oh, my goodness. This Chen Tian is absolutely terrifying. A force of 20,000 kilograms. Isn't this almost on par with some advanced martial artists? This is just unbelievable. I thought Qin Xiao was already impressive enough. I didn't expect Chen Tian to be even more terrifying. Su Xinghe looked at Chen Tian on the stage. The pressure in his heart increased dramatically. This Chen Tian is incredibly strong. Even though he is only one level higher than me, his strength is 6,000 kilograms greater. And it seems like he hasn't even used his full strength. At that moment, Chen Tian walked toward me with a face full of disdain. Chen Hong, in the VIP section, seeing the young master strike with a force of 20,000 kilograms, overjoyed beyond measure. No matter how strong that little brat is. So what? Facing the young master, he will still be smashed to pieces. Time passed. The first round of assessment came to an end. Only 80 outstanding contestants remained in the square. Guansheng once again stepped into the center of the square. Congratulations to everyone who passed the first round of the assessment. The rules for the second round are very simple. Take part in 3 one-on-one matches. As long as you win 3 rounds in a row, you can pass the assessment and join the reserve team. The atmosphere on site instantly became intense. Everyone was eager and ready to go. After all, a dancer's true skills can only be tested in real combat. I took a deep breath, thinking, as long as I don't run into Chen Tian or Su Xinghe, this assessment shouldn't be too much of a problem. All of a sudden, a piercing gaze sent chills down my spine. I turned my head to look. It turned out to be an elderly man with white hair. He was staring at me intently. I was taken aback for a moment. What's up with this old man? I don't think I've ever crossed him before. Why does his look seem like he wants to devour me alive? Su Xinghe whispered a reminder from the side. That is the third elder of Lingxiao Pavilion. The Li Lan you killed had some connection with his grandson. The old Bai Deng from Lingxiao Pavilion. I haven't even gone to settle the score with him yet. Thanks for the heads up, Brother Su. I slightly lifted the corners of my mouth and said not to worry. With your strength, passing the assessment will be a breeze. Once you become a preparatory member of the Tianwu Association. That old Biden could only stare helplessly. Su Xinghe responded with a smile. While smiling, he replied. I nodded in agreement to show that I agreed. As long as I join the Tianwu Association, that old guy would have to think twice before making a move. A match between Chen Tian and Li Qi. The second match was Lu Shang against Shen Lian. My opponent was Zhang Xiao. Hearing the staff's announcement, memories from before started surfacing in my mind. Zhang Xiao's strength is 7,100 kilograms. This round should be no problem at all. The battle on the ring began. Chen Tian took down his opponent instantly as soon as he got on. There was no suspense whatsoever. Watching the disdain from others, I silently contemplated, even though their martial arts skill levels aren't as high as mine. However, the timing and angle of the moves are indeed worth learning from. The next match is Qin Xiao against Zhang Xiao. The staff loudly announced. I took a deep breath, got myself ready, walked slowly toward the ring. A man in a blue shirt stood in the audience. His face was pale with anger. It was none other than Jiang Xiao. When I was beating Li Tai fiercely, he stood right next to me, watching. Both players were in position. The battle began. With the referee's command, I erupted with energy in an instant, like a fierce tiger charging down a mountain. I went straight for my opponent's fist, gathering all my strength. I conceded defeat as Zhang Xiao's face turned pale. Before the punch could even land, he hurriedly admitted defeat. The audience below the stage was in an uproar. This Zhang Xiao seems way too timid. He gave up before it even started. I slightly furrowed my brows. I felt quite speechless inside. He surrendered so quickly. Qin Shaoxiao will be in the next match. Su Xinghe will face Wang Lihu. The referee stood on the stage and announced. Wang Lihu simply chose to admit defeat. Su Xinghe is post-heaven 5th tier strength was clear to see. Conceding defeat is not something to be ashamed of. The final match of the third round, Qin Xiaoxiao faced off against Linglong. As the staff announced the result, everyone's attention turned toward me. Linglong's power assessment reached 7,600 kilograms. Are we about to witness another instant victory? I silently wondered to myself. I thought it would take a few intense battles to pass the level, but it turned out I didn't even face a decent opponent. Could there be some kind of behind-the-scenes manipulation? A conspiracy, perhaps? Not far away, Guansheng suddenly sneezed, muttering under his breath about someone talking about him. Then he looked toward the ring. His eyes filled with excitement. A 16-year-old genius dancer in a small city like Jiangling. I can't believe I've come across such a talented person. If properly nurtured and guided, they will surely dominate the capital in the future. Those so-called geniuses in the Magic City will be no match. Qin Xiao, let's have an exhilarating fight. Linglong's eyes were filled with intense fighting spirit. With a slight smile on my lips, I said, as you wish. As soon as the referee gave the signal, the two instantly clashed. I landed a punch squarely on Linglong. A deafening sound erupted. However, Linglong remained unfazed. She countered with a powerful punch. With a loud bang, I raised both hands to block, but the immense force pushed me back 2 steps. You've been hiding your true strength. I looked at Linglong with fiery eyes. This kind of strength is definitely more than 7,000 kilograms. it might have already surpassed 10,000 kilograms. My talent is being able to significantly boost my combat power in a short amount of time. Watch out, Qin Xiao. I'll show you my true strength. Linglong dashed forward quickly, explaining as she moved. The audience below the stage gasped repeatedly. Linglong's power is unbelievably fierce. It is far beyond the early acquired stage, isn't it? It looks like Qin Xiao is in trouble. Chen Hong, seated in the VIP section, watched Linglong's sudden surge in strength. A sense of joy secretly filled her heart. If this little beast fails the assessment, today will be the end of you. Guan Sheng observed the intense battle, feeling a tinge of regret in his heart. He thought to himself that he should have arranged an easier opponent for Qin Xiao. If he stumbles here and fails, how could he possibly bring him into the Tianwu Association? Under the boost of her talent, Linglong's strength saw a significant increase, sticking to me almost like a shadow, launching relentless attacks. This Linglong seems to have already reached the 4th level of the Huxian realm. It seems unlikely to win with just basic attacks. I put away my underestimation from the bottom of my heart, activated the Vajra technique by channeling the energy within me. In an instant, my entire body was enveloped in a golden radiance. At the same time, I used the ethereal steps with a light and airy movement. My figure swayed like a leaf, dancing in the wind, dodging all of Linglong's attacks effortlessly. Linglong was stunned at what she saw, deeply shocked inside. What is going on here? Could it be that he also has the talent to enhance his strength? Linglong gritted her teeth. The energy within her body surged uncontrollably. No matter how fiercely Linglong attacked, she still couldn't even touch me in the slightest. In his eyes, I seemed like a gust of wind, coming and going without a trace. As time passed, the aura around Linglong is gradually fading away. Meanwhile, the golden light surrounding me remains dazzling. The crowd below the stage is gasping in shock. This is a flawless level Vajra technique. How is this even possible? This is absolutely outrageous. Linglong can't even get close to the situation. Look at Qin Xiao's footwork. That has to be a god-tier ethereal step. This Qin Xiao is unbelievably terrifying. I don't even have a martial art at the perfect level, but he has already mastered a godlike level. It really feels unfair to compare people. It is so frustrating. Su Xinghe watched the fight on the field, looking absolutely thrilled. This Qin Xiao is unbelievably strong. That Linglong's strength should be about the same as mine. Yet, she was easily suppressed by Qin Xiao. I wonder if he has a girlfriend. If you are single, then introduce your sister to him, and have him give me some guidance while he is at it. Haha, Su Xinghe kept watching, and suddenly started scheming in his mind, spending every day watching the battles on the field, with a gloomy look on his face. The transcendent level mysterious step combined with the perfect level Vajra technique. Even someone as talented as him has yet to master even one of them to perfection. Reaching the level of divine mastery, he had never even considered it. Chen Hong in the VIP section looked absolutely livid. Who would have thought this little brat could be so terrifying? It seems he must be eliminated. Even if he passes the assessment, it will still be necessary to find a way to take him out. The other VIPs were equally stunned. Being able to cultivate such techniques to the divine mastery level at this age is truly unbelievable. Seems like Jiangling City might give rise to a real dragon. Guansheng on the side was laughing so hard, his mouth was crooked. This chin and flute brought him countless surprises. At just 16 years old, he already achieved the level of a martial artist, and he even mastered martial arts at the level of divine communication. Even the mighty Lingtian martial god, back in the day, was probably not this strong at his age. Linglong on the scene was almost falling apart. After all that effort, they couldn't even touch a shadow. It was truly frustrating to the extreme. There is no choice but to go all in. The fire dragon fist erupted with a fierce roar. An overwhelming surge of energy gathered in the right hand. It was like flames rolling and surging. The surrounding temperature suddenly spiked. My pupils contracted slightly. Is it finally time for the ultimate move? The violent force of the falling cloud palm condensed in my palm. A deafening roar suddenly echoed through the air. A massive palm imprint appeared out of thin air. Carrying a terrifying force, it blasted straight toward Linglong. A deep sense of despair flashed in Linglong's eyes. The energy on her body was instantly extinguished. Then her entire body was sent flying by the massive impact. She was thrown out of the arena. This is yet another divine level martial art. This guy must be cheating. 2 divine level techniques. One of them is flawless. We all went through the same 9-year compulsory education. Why are you so outstanding? As soon as the falling cloud palm was unleashed, the entire audience erupted in excitement. Once again, everyone in the VIP section stood up in unison. They were all exclaiming in astonishment. What kind of genius is this? At such a young age, their mastery of martial arts is already so profound. Seeing everyone staring at me with such intense eyes, I suddenly felt a bit uneasy inside. Referee, did I win? The referee was momentarily stunned. The twin gods' performance was absolutely outrageous. This is ridiculously over the top. After taking a deep breath at the door, he announced. Qin Shaoxian and Guan Sheng immediately rushed toward the arena with great urgency. Watching Guan Sheng charge at me with an intense excitement on his face, I felt even more uneasy inside. What's up with the master of Tianwu Hall today? Could he have some kind of unusual hobby? Young man, would you be willing to join our Tianwu Hall? Guan Sheng stared at me intensely and spoke. I was completely baffled in an instant. Haven't I already passed the assessment? What else do I need to do to join? Let's head to the Martial Arts Alliance to talk about it. Xiao Chen, handle the arrangements for the backup team. I need to talk to this young man about something. Without waiting for my response, he quickly pulled me away. As soon as he finished speaking, he grabbed me and rushed off. The people around the ring exchanged glances with each other. Is this what true genius deserves? Chen Hong in the VIP section had eyes filled with resentment and malice. Achieving one divine ability can be attributed to luck, but mastering 2 divine abilities is the mark of a true prodigy. He was fully aware of everything his grandson had done. It was nothing more than a failed confession of love. Yet, he wanted to ruin the other person's life. He even went as far as wanting to take their life. And Qin Xiao's performance today was etched deeply into Chen Hong's mind. Li Tai just said a few harsh words and ended up being beaten like a dog. How overbearing this is. Thinking about the things his grandson had done, Chen Hong clenched her fists tightly. This person absolutely cannot be allowed to stay. Su Xinghe in the audience was beyond excited. I must introduce my sister to him, a genius skilled in both martial arts. His sister is so beautiful. She would definitely have full control over this Qin and Xiao. Master Guan, Are you saying you are making me an official member right away? I asked in disbelief. Guan Sheng nodded, smiling as he spoke. Our Tianwu Society is the most powerful organization on Blue Star. Its resources and strength are unmatched. I'm sure you are well aware of that. Otherwise, you wouldn't have come to take the assessment. I asked with a puzzled look. But isn't the Sky Dance Club only open to those at the innate level? Guan Sheng's face was full of smiles. That is the requirement for ordinary talents. For someone with exceptional comprehension like you, the acquired level is already sufficient. All right, I'll join. I responded without hesitation. You have made the wisest decision. Trust me, you absolutely won't regret it. Guan Sheng said with a beaming smile. Then came a detailed explanation of the organizational structure of Tianwu Association and all the benefits that come with it. Bro, is this really our new home? Qin Xinyue looked at the luxurious villa in front of her and asked with a face full of surprise. I nodded in response and said with a smile that is right. Your brother is now an official member of Tianwu Association. A single villa is no big deal, but Qin Xinyue completely ignored me, wandering around the villa on my own. Never thought there'd be a day I'd live in a villa. Looking at the luxurious villa in front of me, a flood of emotions surged through my heart. At the same time, my desire to become stronger grew even more intense. Early the next morning, I headed to the training room equipped in the villa, holding the manual I exchanged for at the Tianwu Association. The Art of Green Energy Cultivation. Following the manual's guidance, I began channeling energy within my body. After a while, I finally figured out the operation path. The Qi condensing green wood technique began to slowly activate. The energy of heaven and earth surged into my body like a tidal wave. Seeing this terrifying absorption rate, I was instantly dumbfounded. Previously, using the basic broken body fasting technique, the amount of energy absorbed was pitifully small. That pace was slower than a snail. This Qi condensing green wood technique is simply miraculous. Feeling the surging energy within my body, I felt an incredible sense of joy in my heart. Suddenly, it came to mind. Joining the Tianwu Association also allows me to choose 3 C-level martial arts techniques. My eyes lit up at the thought. Then, I opened the terminal to take a closer look. With my astonishing speed of cultivation, it would really be a waste to study those low-level martial arts. C-level martial arts techniques are typically meant for innate martial masters and grandmaster-level experts to practice. For ordinary people, practicing advanced martial arts not only wastes time, but it might not even lead to success. After careful consideration, he decided on a 9-fold blade technique manual, a Shadow Demon Step manual, and a Thunder Fist manual, and also purchased 50 energy pills. Inside the Lingxiao Pavilion, Chen Xiao was crying uncontrollably in his room. Grandpa, why haven't you brought Qin Xiao back to me yet? The guards at the door couldn't help but have their eyelids twitching wildly. Right now, Qin Xiao is a member of the Tianwu Society. If anything happens, the Tianwu Society could easily send an expert to destroy Lingxiao Pavilion, thinking silently to himself. Maybe it is time to find a new place. Following this fool, the young master is bound to fail sooner or later. The 2 guards exchanged glances, both seeing the same look in each other's eyes, looking at the grandson, who was losing control. Chen Hong's face was filled with exhaustion. He had said countless times that Qin Xiao couldn't be touched, but Chen Xiao just wouldn't let it go. Isn't it just a 16-year-old dancer? When I turn 16, I'll become a grandmaster right away. Marshal Saint Chen Xiao kept crying and making a scene. The guards heard these words and became even more determined to leave. Becoming a grandmaster at 16. This young master must have completely lost his mind. Chen Hong stared at her unreasonable grandson. Her eyes narrowed slightly. Even if she doesn't take action herself, would the other side really spare her precious grandson? Recalling Qin Shao's domineering behavior earlier, a glint of coldness flashed in Chen Hong's eyes. Congratulations to the host. The C-rank martial arts 9-blade technique has been mastered. The Shadow Demon Step has reached proficiency. The Thunder Fist technique has been practiced to a proficient level. C-rank martial arts are definitely much harder to master compared to E-rank. It took several days just to reach a proficient level. In a KFE not far from the villa area, a man was carefully observing every move happening in the villa. Why doesn't this Qin Xiao ever leave the house? The man murmured quietly to himself. He had been staking out for several days already. This person was none other than Yinsa, an assassin from the Ashura Hall. A few days ago, he took on a big job worth 10 million star coins. He has an unusual talent for manipulating dark shadows. He can briefly merge into shadows and control them to carry out assassinations. Yin Sha has an excellent reputation across the entire assassin community. His assassination success rate is 100%. A few days later, an overwhelming aura erupted from me. The entire training room was shaken by a surge of energy. Ding, congratulations to the host for breaking through. Postnatal, Stage 3, achieved. Name, Qin Xiao. Innate talent, speed, God physique. SSS Realm Postnatal Triple Heaven Technique. Greenwood Art. Blade Technique. Knife Style. Beginner level increases blade power by 50%. Martial Skill, Falling Cloud Palm SSS-Class. Divine/Windblade Technique, Level 1. Divine Ethereal Footwork, Level 1. Perfect Heavenly Origin Single Blade, Level 1. Divine Diamond Technique, Level 1. Divine Shadow Demon Step, C-Class. Proficient Ninefold Blade Technique, C-Class. Skilled in Thunderbolt Fist at Level C. Expert in Vital Energy with a score of 160. 1 day left until the next replication time. Tomorrow happens to be the day of the noon exam. It is perfect timing to replicate Su Qingyan's talent along the way. The next morning, after breakfast, I got ready to head to school for the noon exam. Walking down the fresh and quiet path, I felt unusually cheerful. All of a sudden, a faint sense of killing intent lingered in the air. My pupils contracted sharply. I thought to myself that this was not good. With a swish sound, a dark shadow shot up from the ground. The blade, glinting with cold light, sliced through the air in an instant. At the critical moment, I quickly used the C-level martial technique, Shadow Phantom Step. My movements were as swift and elusive as a phantom, dodging out of the way. The tree behind me was directly cut in half. Shadowkill's eyes were filled with shock. This guy actually managed to dodge his ambush. I stared coldly at the young man who wanted to take my life. My heart was filled with a chilling intent to kill. Since you want to end my life, then you can go meet the King of Hell first. I activated the Vajra technique without hesitation and charged fiercely toward Shadowkill. Shadowkill saw that I actually dared to fight back, and a mocking smirk appeared at the corner of his mouth. Do you really think being a genius makes you unbeatable? Shu charged forward, with a sharp blade in hand. His figure moved like a flash of lightning. I waved my right hand to unleash the falling cloud palm. A powerful palm strike roared out, The air rippled with surging waves of energy. Shadow Blade Technique. The Shadow Kill knife suddenly transformed into 3 blades. All 3 slashed toward me in perfect unison. The falling cloud palm clashed with the Shadow Blade technique. A deafening crash echoed through the air. Both of them involuntarily stepped back several paces. Yinsha realized her knife technique had been countered. She gritted, her teeth hard in frustration. The shadow on the ground suddenly seemed to come alive. It charged straight at me without hesitation. Seeing the eerie shadow that suddenly appeared on the ground, a sense of unease gripped my heart. What kind of bizarre thing is this? I quickly used the Shadow Demon Step technique. Quickly retreat. Yinsha noticed my strange movements, feeling a severe headache. Looks like this. 10 million won't be easy to earn. Then launched another attack towards me, refusing to believe. Such an impressive technique can still be used repeatedly. Seeing Shadow Killer relentlessly chasing after, I sneered in my heart and thought your life will end soon. Using Shadow Demon steps to weave back and forth on the narrow path. Who knows if this weird thing is poisonous? Better to be cautious. Ding. Congratulations to the host for mastering the C-level martial arts Shadow Phantom step. Hearing the sudden notification sound, I felt a surge of joy in my heart. My footwork became even more unpredictable, but Shadow Kill's expression grew increasingly frustrated. What is this kid up to? Why did he suddenly get faster? After the breakthrough, I realized that Shadow couldn't even touch me. Immediately decided to take the initiative and attack. I turned my palm into a fist for the thunderstorm punch. Immense energy instantly surged into it, seeing me suddenly change my stance. Shadow Killer felt a surge of joy in his heart. Courting death, he immediately unleashed the Shadow Blade technique again. Boom! At the instant, the two forces collided. Shadow Killer's expression changed drastically. Impossible. He could feel the overwhelming power of his opponent. It completely crushed him. Yinsha screamed in terror. In the next moment, my fist had already struck, landing heavily on his chest. With a loud and forceful impact, Yinsha's chest was instantly pierced through by the punch. Blood gushed out like a stream. I was breathing heavily, slightly out of breath, looking at Yinsha's lifeless eyes, wide open in front of me. I felt a slight sense of relief in my heart. Ding detected an S-level talent 0 meters ahead. Would you like to copy it? Hearing the sudden notification sound in my mind, I was slightly taken aback. Where did this S-level talent come from? Could it be related to that mysterious shadow? Sorry about this. Su Qingyan will have to pamper you next time. Ha ha ha. I took a deep breath, quickly copied the young man's talent. Ding, congratulations to the host for acquiring an S-level talent. Void Shadow. You can briefly merge into the shadows while controlling your own shadow and move within a 10-kilometer range. The shadow has half the strength of your body. I was instantly overjoyed. This is practically robbing and murdering for profit. A perfect skill for looting and plundering. Immediately disposed of Shadow Kill's corpse. Found a star coin card and a manual while searching the body. Level the first of martial art called Shadow Blade Technique. Can create multiple illusions simultaneously to inflict damage. The move this guy just used was exactly this one. All right, I'll gladly take it. Then also found a letter on Shadow Kill's body. It had the name of the third elder of Lingxiao Pavilion carved on it. My gaze is icy and cold. I was planning to let your grandson live a few more days. But since you are asking for trouble, don't blame me for being ruthless. It is only 7 o'clock right now. The martial arts exam starts at 9. There is still time to deal with Chen Xiao and then head to school. Inside the Ling Xiao Pavilion. Don't worry, grandson. I've already hired assassins from the Asura Hall, heading out to take down Qin Xiao. I believe we'll see results very soon. Chen Hong spoke with a big smile on her face. A dark figure quietly lurked outside the room. So it really is that old man. The Asura Hall dared to take on my request. I'll remember you for this. Strange, there isn't a single guard in this place. My shadow gazed at the empty doorway, feeling a bit puzzled. Grandpa is waiting for Qin Xiao to die. Bring his sister over here. I want to make that woman unable to live peacefully and unable to die easily. Chen Xiao's cold voice came from inside. Hearing this, a chill ran through my heart. You scumbag, you'll be sent to your doom soon enough, Chen Hong said with a smile. Don't worry, once Qin Xiao is dead, his sister will be completely at your mercy. When the time comes, you can do whatever you want to do. Thank you, Grandpa. I promise to be obedient from now on. Chen Xiao put on an innocent look and said, Grandpa, I'm thirsty. Chen Hong's face showed a satisfied smile. What a good grandson. Stay right here and don't move. I'll go get some oranges for you. After saying this, he stood up and left the room. Chen Xiao gazed at his grandfather's hunched over figure, thinking about everything his grandfather had done for him. He silently vowed in his heart that once he became a martial god, he would absolutely put in all his effort. Just as Chen Xiao was lost in his dream of becoming a martial god, a sound of blood splattering abruptly shattered his daydreams. His eyes instantly lost focus. After silently taking care of Chen Xiao, I left Ling Xiao Pavilion. A moment later, Chen Hong came carrying a bag of oranges, gently pushed open Chen Xiao's bedroom door. The moment the door opened, a strong smell of blood hit me in the face. Chen Hong's heart suddenly skipped a beat. My dear grandson, looking at Chen Xiao, lying in a pool of blood. Chen Hong's body trembled violently. Fury instantly surged through him. Who on earth killed my grandson? I will make sure they have no place to be buried. The aura around Chen Hong surged wildly. With a loud, cracking sound, Chen Hong unexpectedly broke through to a new level, but he felt no joy from this breakthrough. A breakthrough achieved at the cost of his grandson's life is not worth it at all. Chen Hong stared intently at the situation in the room, only to find the scene eerily spotless. Not even a trace of a fight could be seen. It must have been Qin Xiao who hired someone to kill my grandson. Qin Xiao, I will make you pay a heavy price. The tragic death of Chen Xiao and the breakthrough of Chen Hong. In no time, the news spread across the entire Ling Xiao Pavilion. Today is the day of the dance exam. The school was packed with people. The atmosphere was lively and bustling. I walked confidently toward the assessment location within the campus grounds. Many students cast envious glances in my direction. Last Sunday, the impressive performance during the selection of prom candidates is still unforgettable to this day. Qin Xiao, classmate, could you help me with an autograph? Suddenly, a timid voice came from behind me. Hearing those words, I felt a shiver run through my body and immediately recalled the scene from a month ago when I asked Li Chang for an autograph. That horrifying image still lingers in my mind. Getting the autograph is absolutely out of the question. There is no way I'll ever sign it in this lifetime. Sorry about that, classmate. I've been getting way too many rewards lately. It caused my hand to get injured, so I can't sign anything. Apologies. As soon as I said that, I immediately turned around and ran off. That female classmate stood there, frozen. She watched the figure sprinting away, looking a bit stunned and not fully reacting. But she caught the crucial detail about Qin Xiao. His hand was injured. Soon after, the news spread throughout the school. Qin Xiao overtrained and hurt his hand. Qin Xiao's hand injury was severe. He was still gritting his teeth and pushing through training. Qin Xiao's hand was broken. Not long after, Qin Xiao. The news that Qin Xiao's hand was broken spread across the entire campus. Listening to the chatter of classmates around me, I lowered my head and glanced at my unharmed hand, falling into deep thought. The time reached 9 o'clock. The principal slowly walked up to the podium. Classmates, this year's martial arts test will take place in an area crowded with fierce beasts. You will have to fight against ferocious beasts. There are a few things you need to keep in mind. I was listening and feeling drowsy. Suddenly, I noticed a stunning figure standing not far away. The girl had her hair tied back in a neat ponytail. Her delicate features were like those of a fairy descending to the mortal world. Her cool and aloof demeanor made her even more captivating. Many male classmates were staring at the girl with eyes full of intense admiration. But the way I looked at her was like seeing my own talent reflected, filled with a unique kind of longing. Su Qingyan seemed to notice my unusual gaze, and suddenly turned her head toward me. I gazed at Su Qingyan, who suddenly turned back. My heart was pounding wildly. Calm down, my heart. Don't beat so fast. That is my SG talent at work. Above the stage, a massive magic circle suddenly appeared, radiating a dazzling array of colors. I snapped back to my senses, staring intently at the magic circle above. It is finally time to start dominating. Isn't it finally time to start the afternoon exam? Suddenly, a blinding light appeared in the principal's hand. The magic circle gradually expanded. The light spread over everyone. Swish, swish, swish. Everyone on the field vanished without a trace in an instant. A moment later, a glaring light flashed. I slowly opened my eyes. I realized I was surrounded by towering ancient trees all around me. There are also many students wearing uniforms from other schools. It seems like this transmission is random. I looked around at the students nearby. I noticed quite a few people looking at me with a strong sense of hostility in their eyes. Hey, which school are you from? Why do you look kind of familiar? A tall student next to me suddenly spoke up. As soon as he started talking, I could feel a deep hostility from him. I let out a cold chuckle and started speaking. What? Are you planning to eliminate me? The tall classmate laughed loudly and said, Are you going to leave on your own? Or should I make you leave? Let me make it clear first. I'm a master of the 7th level of the broken body technique. You'd better take the initiative. Before he could finish his sentence, I slapped it away with a single blow. It crashed heavily into the tree and passed out. Golden light appeared on his body immediately, transporting him away from here. What? Do you all want to send me away too? I looked at the other classmates and spoke calmly. The other classmates' faces instantly turned pale. What kind of strength does this guy even have? He could take down someone at the 7th level of body refinement with just one hit. I wouldn't dare I wouldn't dare. We have something to do, so we're leaving now." After saying that, they quickly came up with excuses and slipped away. The principal of Tiannan, No One High School Street Arid, at his promising student, eliminated right at the start. So angry, it felt like his chest was about to explode. Who is that guy? I want to find out everything about him. Principal, that is from Jiangling City. The assistant next to Qin Shao quickly responded. The principal was stunned after hearing this. Isn't Qin Shao a martial artist? Why is he even participating in the afternoon exam? No way, I need to report this. The principal grumbled and shouted angrily. In the secret realm, I was still wandering around looking for fierce beasts. All the ones I encountered earlier were easily taken care of. Half an hour later, the score had already reached 500. One person had managed to take down 500 fierce beasts. After a moment, a leaderboard appeared above the playground. Jiangling First High School, Qin Shao, 500 points. Imperial First High School, Chenhua, 48 points. Magic City First High School, Lanling, 47 points. The principal looked at the leaderboard and grinned so wide his mouth almost twisted. Qin Shao scored 500 points. The second place didn't even reach 50 points. That's a gap of 10 times more. This time, they're definitely going to crush both Imperial and Magic City schools. As soon as the leaderboard was revealed, all the high schools were in an uproar. What's going on with Qin Shao? A score of 500, seriously! The principals of the top schools in the capital and Shanghai were absolutely furious. Every year, their schools would fight for first place in the arts exam, while other schools could only aim for third. What kind of unknown school is this Jiangning High? It's totally unbelievable. Did his grandfather open the door for him? The principal of Imperial High School even made a direct call to file a complaint. There was no cheating involved in this dance exam. All the data looks completely normal. Listening to the response over the phone, the principal of Imperial High School had a face as sour as a bitter melon. And you are telling me this data is normal? While I was leisurely looking for fierce beasts in a valley not too far away, a group of students from Zhongshan High School were fiercely hunting for anyone wandering alone. Leading the group, Li He possesses a unique talent. He can sense the location of his classmates. In just half an hour, he managed to gather a large number of classmates. When they came across students from other schools, they eliminated them right away. There is someone from Li He's side who seems to be alone. Let's go take him down. A classmate, eyes lighting up, suggested. Another one is too much of a waste of time. We should see if we can find more instead. Li He hesitated as he said this. There were no fierce beasts around, nor were there any other students. Might as well take care of it while we're at it. After all, there is nothing else to do. That young man continued to persuade. Li He thought for 2 seconds and then nodded. The group immediately rushed quickly toward their target. The principal of Zhongshan First High School watched the direction Li He and the others were heading, and suddenly felt a jolt in his heart. What are these guys up to? The principal was originally quite satisfied with their performance. They took advantage of their numbers to eliminate a lot of opponents. At the same time, they also took down a large number of fierce beasts. Judging by this momentum, getting into a top university should be a sure thing. But now, they're actually planning to mess with Qin Shao. Isn't this like looking for trouble in the most obvious way? The teachers nearby watched Li and the others' actions. Their eyelids twitched uncontrollably. Qin Shao has already scored 1,200 points. Even if you put them all together, it is still not enough to compete. You all want me to quit the evaluation. I looked at the student in front of me with a strange expression, walking all the way here. It is the first time I've seen so many people gathered in one place. Lee replied impatiently, "Haven't I made myself clear enough? Or do you really want us to take action?" Hearing this, I couldn't help but laugh. It seems these people still haven't realized the severity of the problem, the seriousness of the situation. Yuan Hong, take 2 people with you and step up. Li He shook his head and instructed the classmates nearby. A few students immediately stepped forward. Yuan Hong looked at me with a malicious grin. "Kid, since you are asking for trouble, don't blame us for being rude. Make sure you remember my name." I couldn't be bothered with this nonsense. I went straight ahead and threw out 3 heavy punches, with 3 crisp sounds echoing. Yuan Hong and 2 classmates were easily sent flying. While still mid-air, they were transported out of the secret realm. Li He's face instantly turned pale. Who in the world is this guy? Although Yuan Hong is only at the 6th stage of body refinement, he possesses top-tier defensive talent, and yet this young man took him down with just 1 punch. Could it be a super genius from the capital or Shanghai? I rubbed my palm. This Yuan Hong really has thick skin. It almost made my hand hurt from the impact. Did we misjudge the situation? We exchanged a glance and spoke coldly. The classmates behind us all looked furious. He eliminated 3 of our classmates. Are we just going to let him off like this? Hold on. It was you who got yourselves kicked out of the secret realm. Do you still need me to send you all out? I said calmly. As soon as I said this, Li and the others looked grim. After all, they had dozens of people. And yet, someone dared to tell them to get out of the secret realm. What a joke. Do they really think they're invincible just because they took down a few people? We have so many people here. If we all spit at once, we could drown you. I looked at Li and spoke in a cold tone. Watching the crowd swarm toward me, I felt completely calm inside. I just gently swung my fist. Bang, bang, bang. I didn't even need any special martial arts techniques. I only had to slightly twist my body to avoid every attack. With each punch I threw, the people in front of me fell one after another. Li's eyes were filled with despair. A whole group of people couldn't even touch the hem of his clothes, while the opponent could knock them out with just 1 punch. He looked so relaxed and at ease, as if he was worried that hitting too hard might accidentally kill his opponent. In just a moment, no one was left standing beside Li He. Who are you really? Li He's eyes were bloodshot, glaring at me with an intense stare. You are not qualified to know, I replied calmly. He immediately threw a punch. Bang! Li He's body flew backward like a kite with a broken string. Then he was wrapped in golden light and sent out of the secret realm. Looking at the now empty field in front of me, I stretched lazily. It feels amazing to crush weaker opponents. The principal of Zhongshan First High School looked ashen-faced. Li, he had nearly gathered all the best talents from the school. The entire army was completely wiped out. This year's college entrance exam results might end up at the bottom of the rankings. In a valley filled with scattered rocks, a stunningly beautiful girl was facing off against 3 ferocious beasts. The girl held a long sword in her hand. Her petite figure trembled slightly in the air. The bodies of several fierce beasts were scattered around her. It was clear Su Qingyan had just gone through an intense battle. Her internal energy felt somewhat chaotic. 3 ferocious beasts sensed the situation. Su Qingyan was in a weakened state. They launched a fierce attack immediately. Su Qingyan bit his lip tightly. The long sword in his hand thrust forward swiftly. The blade cut through the air, producing a deep, resonant hum. A beast let out a mournful howl, fell to the ground lifeless in an instant. The remaining two beasts watched as their companion was slain. The look in their eyes as they stared at Su Qingyan carried a trace of fear. Well, isn't this the eldest daughter of the Su family, Su Qingyan? How about letting your brother give you a hand? Right, as Su Qingyan was facing off with the ferocious beast, a rough voice echoed from a distance. Su Qingyan pressed her lips together tightly. The longsword once again slashed swiftly toward the creature. The sound of sharp blades tearing through flesh echoed twice. Two ferocious beasts were brutally pierced by the sword's edge. They instantly lost all signs of life. Su Qingyan's face suddenly turned pale. Clearly, the consecutive attacks had completely drained his strength. No wonder it is an S-level talent. Truly impressive. But it seems like your stamina is almost depleted, isn't it? The voice announcing the ranking echoed once more. Su Qingyan frowned and looked toward the source of the voice. He saw someone wearing a blue school uniform, a chubby guy, staring at him intently with a fiery gaze. Wang Shuo, what are you trying to do? Su Qingyan asked coldly. Her petite body trembled slightly. What do you think I'm trying to do? I know you really want to get into one of the top 4 universities. If I eliminate you right now, do you think you'd still stand a chance? A cold glint flashed in Wang Shu's eyes. Su Qingyan took a deep breath. Is the Wang family from the capital really this petty? It was just a matter of declining your gift. Yet you are being so aggressive about it. When Wang Shuo heard this, his expression immediately turned grim. Not long ago, Su Qingyan traveled to the capital for leisure, where she happened to run into Wang Shuo, and he was instantly captivated by her stunning beauty. Upon learning that Su Qingyan possessed an S-level talent, Wang Shu's desire for her only grew even stronger, and he resorted to all kinds of methods to pursue her. But Su Qingyan always remained indifferent. She even turned down Wang Shu's gestures of goodwill multiple times. The prestigious Wang family from the capital showing such devotion to a woman, only to be rejected. What's so great about having an S-level talent? An undeveloped S-level talent is nothing but useless. Wang Shu stared coldly at Su Qingyan. He hadn't expected to encounter this woman during the dance assessment, and it happened to be at her weakest moment. Missing this opportunity would truly be unforgivable. Wang Shuo smirked as he spoke. As long as you are willing to be my woman, I can help you get into the top 4 prestigious schools, along with all kinds of cultivation resources. Everything will be provided to you unconditionally. Get lost. Su Qingyan parted her lips slightly and coldly uttered a single word. I know your brother passed the Tianwu Association's assessment, but that only makes him a provisional member. Do you really think you can stay worry-free? Wang Shuing sneered coldly. It is completely normal for reserve members to die during missions. There is nothing unusual about that. I am extremely familiar with this kind of situation. Su Qingyan immediately clenched his fists tightly. He gritted his teeth and said angrily, "Are you threatening me?" Upon hearing this, Wang Shuo's expression changed. A cruel smile appeared on his face. As long as you agree to be my woman, there won't be any problems. Su Qingyan took a deep breath. The long sword in his hand pointed straight at Wang Shuo, daring to threaten him with his brother, even if he had to give up the college entrance exam. He would make sure to teach him a lesson he would never forget. Wang Shuo saw this, and a mocking smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Since that is the case, then let me shatter your hopes completely. Right after that, a powerful aura suddenly erupted from Wang Shuo. An overwhelming and terrifying power burst out from Wang Shuo. Broken body, 9th heaven. How is this even possible? Su Qingyan's eyes widened in shock. How could Wang Shu possibly be at the broken body 9th heaven level? When I saw him earlier, he was just at broken body 3rd heaven. How did a few days change him to broken body 9th heaven? And his talent is nothing more than a common B grade. Even if I treated the broken body pill like candy, it would still be impossible to break through this quickly. My dad hired 10 grandmasters to perform a ritual for me. If it weren't for the lack of time, I would have already reached the 10th stage of the broken body realm by now. So, what now? Still thinking about resisting? Wang Shuo boasted with a smug tone. Su Qingyan frowned deeply. A sense of powerlessness surged in his heart. 10 grandmasters performing the ritual. Is this what the essence of a top-tier family looks like? Although this approach could seriously undermine the foundation. But in order to achieve great results in the dance exam, many people would risk everything. Su Qingyan silently tightened the token in his hand. It seems the 4 prestigious schools are out of reach. Wang Shuo's fiery gaze was locked on Su Qingyan, thinking that such a flawless woman must belong under him. Then he slowly approached him, step by step. The 9th heaven of broken body, not to mention being completely exhausted right now. Even at full strength, I wouldn't stand a chance. Watching Wang Shu slowly approach, Su Qingyan let out a soft sigh. Just as he was about to activate the token, a cold and sharp voice suddenly rang out. Stay away from Su Qingyan, fatty. Su Qingyan's eyes lit up upon hearing this. Could this voice really be his? Wang Shu heard this. His face turned red with anger. He hated being called a fatso the most. You little punk, are you looking for trouble? Do you even know who I am? His whole body was trembling. His eyes were burning with rage. Just a fat guy, isn't it? What else could he be? I looked at this square-faced boy, smirking disdainfully as I spoke. Wang Shu immediately flew into a rage. An intense and powerful aura burst from him. I told you to shut up. With a furious roar, he charged at me like a madman. A hint of mockery flashed in my eyes. So clueless about your own demise. I raised my hand and delivered a resounding punch to his nose. With a loud smack, Wang Shuo was instantly sent flying like a kite with a broken string. He slammed hard against a distant tree. Su Qingyan, who was nearby, witnessed this scene. His eyes sparkled with excitement, even though he had already known Qin Shao had broken through as a martial artist. But seeing him with my own eyes and his large nasal cavity just sent Wang Shuo, who had reached the 9th heaven of the broken body, flying. Still left him utterly shocked. Actually managed to withstand that slap of mine. I stared in surprise at Wang Shuo, whose face had turned bright red in the distance. I practiced this slap quite a few times. Those at the 4th or 5th level are dealt with in just one slap. Taking a closer look, this guy actually has some skills. You little beast. How dare you hit me? I want you dead. Wang Shu completely lost his mind. This bastard not only called him a fatso, but also humiliated him right in front of Su Qingyan. Born with a silver spoon in his mouth, He was a true nobleman. He had never experienced such humiliation before. He was so furious that he seemed to be steaming with anger. Looking at Wang Shuo, who was almost losing his mind, I couldn't help but find it ridiculous. I found it laughable. You, a mere nobody, think you can take my life. If you've got the guts, why don't you give it a try? Wang Shu kept cursing endlessly, but I had already launched another attack with an unstoppable force. I noticed the energy fluctuations on my body. Wang Shu's eyes were instantly filled with shock. You're actually a martial artist. No, my dad is Wang. Before he could finish his sentence, my fist had already landed on his face. Bang Wang Shuo was instantly sent flying backward. Crack the bones all over his body made crisp sounds. He was immediately surrounded by a golden light and teleported out of the scene. What did that fat guy just say about his dad being Wang something? Forget it. It doesn't matter anymore. Anyway, it's already done. Qin Xiao, my classmate, thank you for being here at this moment. A pleasant voice reached my ears. I turned around and looked at this stunning beauty. With a calm smile, I said, I came just in time, didn't I? Su Qingyan gave a slight smile and said softly, it's all thanks to you, Qin Xiao. Otherwise, I might have given up. On the sports field of Jiangling High School, Su Xinghe gazed at the screen, showing his younger sister. He kept smiling again and again. The corners of his mouth twitched uncontrollably. When did his sister become so gentle? The principal noticed the two chatting idly instead of doing something productive. For a moment, he felt uneasy, but when he glanced at the scoreboard, showing 1,600 points, fine, do whatever you want. Thinking about the two top schools in the capital and Shanghai, being stepped on by your own student. It feels incredibly satisfying deep down. Your points have already reached 1,800. Su Qingyan's eyes looked a bit dazed. I worked myself to the bone and only got a little over 60 points. The difference is just way too huge. I scratched my head. Smiling, I said it is just points. If it weren't so boring to just sit around, I wouldn't even bother looking for fierce beasts. Su Qingyan heard this, really wanted to give the other person a good beating. Does this even sound like something a normal person would say? It seems like the first place is definitely yours. Su Xinyan slightly parted her cherry lips and said, I nodded in agreement, saying it should be enough now. Although I can handle those fierce beasts with ease like slaughtering chickens, other test takers definitely don't have my level of ability. They'd need quite a bit of time just to deal with one. When faced with a pack of ferocious beasts, the only option is to turn around and run, let alone having to watch out for the dangers posed by other candidates. The first place prize is a C-level martial arts technique, plus 10 million star coins, and the freedom to choose from the top 4 prestigious schools. Su Qingyan spoke while walking. Hearing this, I was momentarily stunned. A reward of 10 million star coins. Wait, how come I didn't know about this? Suddenly remembered. The principal did mention something about rewards during the speech, but I wasn't paying attention at the time. Didn't you know? Su Qingyan stared blankly at me. Well, even Qin Xiao has joined the Tianwu Society. He definitely wouldn't care about something so trivial. I gave an awkward smile. Changed the subject. Su Qingyan, let's go hunt some fierce beasts. We took the top 2 spots. Give the principal a surprise. You can't just tell him about the surprise. I was figuring out how my hand got injured back then and missed the principal's long speech. Su Qingyan hesitated after hearing that, worried he might become a burden to Qin Xiao. Why are you unwilling? I noticed Su Qingyan's hesitant expression, spoke up, and asked. Su Qingyan quickly shook his head. I am willing after finishing speaking. Her face instantly flushed with a rosy glow. I smiled slightly, carried the teammate to rank up. 11:30 in the morning. The retake exam had been going on for 2.5 hours. At this moment, those remaining in the secret realm were all exceptionally skilled individuals. On a plane within a hidden realm, a young man in a black jacket casually dealt with several fierce beasts nearby. Chen Xiao's first place, this time, should be secured. A dark-skinned young man next to him asked. The boy in the jacket waved his fist. There shouldn't be any problem. This was none other than Chen Hua, a student with an S-grade talent from the capital's top high school, born into a prestigious family in the capital. He has no shortage of resources for cultivation or martial arts techniques. There are professional mentors who design customized training plans. On top of that, he is incredibly hardworking himself. He is regarded as the top contender in this martial arts exam, the strongest competitor for the first place. Chen Xiao heard that Wang Shuo has reached the 9th heaven of body refinement. It is unclear if he poses a threat to you. The dark-skinned boy is Zhao Ping, a classmate from Imperial Capital High School. Chen Hua, upon hearing this, a hint of disdain flashed in his eyes. Wang Shuo, that useless nobody. Maybe he can rely on his dad to find a master to help him advance. Even if he reaches the 9th heaven of body refinement, he is still nothing but a useless person. I could crush him with just one step. Hearing this, Zhao Ping responded. I couldn't help but feel a sense of awe in my heart. So, this is what it means to be part of a wealthy family. The master-level enlightenment felt truly authentic. But that girl from Maju High School seems a bit dangerous. A trace of caution flashed in Chen Hua's eyes. Zhao Ping fell silent upon hearing this. He was lost in thought. Lanling, the genius girl from Maju First High School, a super genius with an S-level talent. Her father is the governor of Maju, and she has a spoiled and willful personality. She fears neither heaven nor earth. Forget it. This secret realm is just too vast. Otherwise, I'd really want to find a chance to compete with her. Chen Hua talked about wanting to compete, but didn't follow through. Although he pretended to be calm, deep down he really didn't want to run into her. She's just a little girl. If he actually fought with young Master Chen, he'd definitely be no match and get beaten badly by you. Zhao Ping flattered from the side. Chen Hua didn't respond. He just focused on continuing to search for the culprit with Zhao Ping. Suddenly, with a swift motion, a massive rock came flying from a distance. Chen Hua's pupils contracted. A quick punch. Smash the rock into pieces. Who dares to show up here? Didn't expect to run into you here. What a surprise. Since we've met, let's settle who's number one. Not far away stood a girl with twin ponytails, a petite yet curvy beauty, playfully watching them with a mischievous smile. Chen Hua looked at the sweet and adorable young girl and immediately felt a headache coming on. Even though he wasn't afraid of her, her terrifying strength was truly hard to handle. Lanling, I don't want to fight with you. Don't let others take advantage of the situation. Let's just focus on hunting the fierce beasts. Chen Hua frowned as he spoke. Zhao Ping looked at Chen Hua in shock. He couldn't believe that Chen Hua would willingly show weakness. Is there still any suspense now? As long as I eliminate you, I'll secure the top spot. You're not scared, are you? A sly glint flashed in Lanling's eyes. Chen Hua pressed her lips together, thinking that with Zhao Ping's help, as long as I focus on defeating the beast, I'm bound to take first place. Even though Lan Ling's strength is quite formidable, but the hunting speed is definitely no match for his own. So the safest option is to avoid a confrontation. Just as Shen Hua hesitated, Lan Ling threw another massive rock. Lan Ling, don't think I am afraid of you. Chen Hua saw him pressing forward, step by step, fuming with anger. Do you really think I am easy to bully? Lan Ling raised his fist. Then, let's fight. Don't act like a coward. Chen Hua's eyes were blazing with anger. Since you refuse kindness and choose punishment, then I'll teach you a proper lesson. With that, he charged fiercely at Lan Ling. A faint dimple appeared on Lan Ling's face. At the broken body stage, I am unbeatable. He threw a punch with a loud boom. The entire atmosphere seemed to tremble. Witnessing such a powerful display, Chen Hua's eyelids twitched uncontrollably, but there was no way out at this point. He could only throw a punch to counter it. Bang! The moment their fists collided, Chen Hua was instantly sent flying. And this is supposed to be the so-called top genius of Imperial High School 1. Can't even take a single punch from me. What a complete loser. Lan Ling saw Chen Hua being knocked back and immediately switched to mockery mode. Zhao Ping stood there, completely stunned. The genius of his own school ended up being crushed by a little girl. Chen Hua was trembling with anger. Lan Ling, don't be so arrogant. Being temporarily ahead doesn't mean much. Why do you talk so much nonsense? If you can't win, then you just can't win. You should leave the secret realm yourself. Lan Ling let out a cold snort and said. Chen Hua looked around. It was all flat plains. There was absolutely nowhere to hide. So that's Chen Hua and Lan Ling. I looked into the distance at the battle scene on the plains and asked. Su Qingyan nodded in response. They are both super geniuses with S-level talents. External evaluation organizations all believe the first place will definitely come from one of them. So as long as we deal with them, we can secure our spot in the top 2. I went on to say, hunting fierce beasts is just too boring. Why not just take down the strongest opponent directly? Hey, it is about time. You guys, stop messing around. Everyone, leave the secret realm. Just as Chen Hua was thinking about how to escape, a calm voice suddenly spoke.